What's going on, guys? It's Alex from IgnitionTube. I'm Eli's buddy, and a few weeks ago Eli actually took my car for the day and flashed it Integrated Engineering Stage 1 without telling me at all. So then, he brought the car home and tricked me into going for a quick ride where he filmed my whole reaction. So if you haven't seen that yet, take a look. That's going to be up here. Great video. Really appreciative of both Eli and the great guys over at Integrated Engineering. So they were going to do stage 2, but those folks recommend doing an intake. So today I'm going to be doing an intake install. I have a GFB diverter valve as well. I also have some coils and some spark plugs. So we're going to do all that, and then we're going to flash to stage 2 here in my garage. Alright, so we'll just take a quick look at what we got going on here. So I have an intake that came in from CTS. So we're going to be installing that. As you can see, that comes with a couple of heat shields. It's also got some nice weather stripping that's going to go around the outside of those so you don't have any sharp edges rubbing around. I do have the secondary air injection on my car, so I've got that little filters in the box up top here. We've got some new plugs and some new coil packs from our great friends over at FCP Euro. And then down at the bottom here, I have a GFB diverter valve. The GFB, the diverter valve that's sitting right there, is actually one that I bought when I had my Mk7 GTI, and I had it for probably 6 months. I bought it used online, and I never ended up installing it before I got rid of the car. So when I got the Mk7, I actually called the folks at GFB, and it's the same part number. So the GFB upgrade for the Mk5, the Mk6, the Mk7, it's all the same. So I'm going to be putting that in on the Mk7 today as well. Alright, so this is a little bit hard to see, but the first thing we're going to do for the intake is take off the hose clamp that's down the bottom here. That's a 7mm, and a little trick for you guys, something that I really like for that is one of these. So this one's made by Blue Point, but there are a bunch of different companies that make them, and what this is basically it's a big spring, so you get a little bit of flexibility, and I've thrown the 7mm in the end there, so we're going to see. We just kind of have to get it started. So I'm on there right now. And as you can see, I've got this thing completely bent, and it's making it really easy to undo this clamp. Alright, so we're going to try to get our DV install from GFB banged out here. As you can see, I got the intake hose off. That was down here, but for the DV we have 3 hex bolts. So there's one here, there's one on the other side, and there's one on the bottom. That's a little bit trickier to get to. Alright, so I got the DV out. That's what it looks like in there now. I used the same tool as before. So this little kind of spring drive screwdriver that lets you flex it around a little bit, and I've got the proper hex bit in the end. Highly recommend. It's a little bit tricky to get to that bottom bolt in there, but with this guy, it's not so bad. You can kind of curve it up out of the way a little bit and still get that bolt out. Alright, so we got the DV Plus installed. There's some other really great videos online on, super detailed how-to on how to do this. But you just, for the gist of it, I just wanted to explain it's a little easier if you use that little screwdriver attachment I showed you guys. And make sure this brass bushing on the outside here, make sure you put a thin coating of oil on there, because that's going to be moving around. We want to keep that fresh for as long as we can. Something else to note is this doesn't hold itself together. I mean, it's kind of compressed together right now, but when you install this, you want to probably start with one bolt and be really careful so that it doesn't fly apart in your hands. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear this or not, but you don't want your intake box to sound like that. This is going to be a little tricky to see here. Maybe that's a little better. So we got the secondary air hooked up. I got the box in, obviously, and then we've got the coupler over here. So not too bad. I guess the one big thing I would recommend is that when you're installing this little rubber grommet here, these all just push on like the factory airbox. I would do this one first because it's really easy to push down and this tab will bend upwards. So I've got it in there now, but at first I definitely bent it a little bit, but you can see it's pretty sturdy. I think it's not going to go anywhere. Whew, look at that. Isn't she pretty? Alright, so got the intake on, super easy. All in all, this probably took like 40 minutes. Could probably, this is one of those things where you could probably do it again a second time and twice as fast. So, all in all, pretty good. There is a little bolt that's in there. It's going to be a little hard to see on that little tab that helps hold hold the intake on, and it's really pretty secure. It's not going anywhere, I don't think. Definitely a lot more sturdy than the intake I had in the Mark V, and way easier to install. Alright, so I've got everything hooked up here. We're gonna go ahead and do the tune. So stage 2. We're gonna go 93 octane, high torque Crackle. I have the Cat IE downpipe, and the DSG tune is already on the car. We've hopped back in the car. It's the first drive in stage 2 for me. I've actually I don't think I've ever driven or been in a stage 2 Mark 7. This Crackle is ridiculous. Here's a little underpass. That's sick. Alright, we'll get onto it, we'll get into it in third a little bit up here. I got a nice merge that we're gonna try. In stage 1, it's a little tough to hook in second sometimes. Sometimes it's not so bad. So we're gonna give it a shot here, merging on. We'll do a third gear pull. First pull of stage 2. I'm loving all the intake. The induction sound is crazy now too with the intake on. Nice little echo. That's ridiculous. Oh, all right. Here we go. We'll do a little tiny pull in third. Oh my God, this is crazy. Roll into her a little bit in fourth. Oh my God, it just keeps going. It's ridiculous. I don't want to look at how fast I'm going right now. It's not as big a change as when you're going from stock to stage 1, but it feels, you can definitely feel it. It's definitely a noticeable difference that I'm feeling. So this is crazy. It feels great. All right, I'm absolutely in love with this. It's crazy. I just did like a second to third pull underneath an overpass, and the new sounds coming from this car are wild. So you hold, for people who don't know, you hold boost through DSG shifts. So one, you pop that next gear and it puts you right back in the seat. There's no waiting for the turbo to spool up again, which is crazy. And then when you let off, you get the nice diverter valve noise there. So I'm loving it. It's it's a whole new suite of sounds. I'm gonna be getting very poor gas mileage from just constantly being on it, I think, the next few days. It's great. I love it. Thank you, Integrated, and thank you, Eli. If you guys like this and you want to see more GTI content, more Mark 7 content, please hit the like button. It really helps us out, and it helps push to the sponsors and everything that you guys really like these videos. So please, subscribe, hit that thumbs up if you enjoy this stuff, if you want more Mark 7 content. And everybody keep taking care of business. We'll see you in the next one.